Doot. 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 Hello world, it's Birdo Prey 5 Qapla, and welcome to Deep Space Nine Wednesday for July 8th, 2020. Today we are going to watch Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Season 3, Episode 15, which I don't have enough fingers for, Destiny. This is the episode where an ancient Bajoran prophecy talks about 3 Vipers, and I think they're going to destroy the wormhole. And of course, Cisco doesn't believe in that BS at this point. But by the end of the episode, some people are believers, some people are not. It involves Cardassians, Bajorans, Cisco, and just for fun of it, there's a B plot of Miles possibly, having to fight to not cheat on Keiko. Oh, it's a good episode. I remember it as a good episode. One of the rare episodes where we see Cardassians that are not Gul Dukat or Garrick or some type of soldier. We see some scientist Cardassian, which is a nice change. But let's get to the chat. Switch it to live chat. Saw quite a few people were here early. Thank you all for coming early. Josh Street yells, "Down with Karoga, down with Birdo Prey. All hail Clono Prey, true ruler of Karoga." Oh, damn it! That means quite a few chats were lost. Son of a bitch! I shouldn't have switched to live chat. Dr. Scotty donated $5. Thank you, Dr. Scotty. $5 through Super Chat. Happy Hump Day. Great to see you, Birdo Prey. Greetings from the socialist left coast. Qapla, Dr. Scotty. Good to see you. And thank you very much for the donation. Yes, I'm on. I don't think last week I used the camera, but the camera is back. I'm feeling pretty good. I know those of you I saw on DJ stream this morning. Every morning I wake up like around 6 a.m., but I don't really feel good till 7. That first hour really messes me up sometimes. Yeah, I started feeling better once around 7 came around, and knock wood, I've been good most of the day. I had a doctor's appointment this morning. I had the nurse come over, had to deal with calling Social Security Administration to get paperwork for disability benefits. It was a hectic day, but knock wood, things are going well right now. We heard from Ciso Prey earlier. Have we heard from her since? Yeah. No, Ciso Prey was taking Charlie to I don't know if it's his first pediatric visit, but the first pediatric visit while she's alone, since her friend left yesterday to go back up to whatever state she lives in. So Ciso Prey and Charlie are now living alone in the apartment, and I'm sure everything's fine. But today was Charlie had to go to the doctor, so things seem to be going okay. Sassy's okay. Mamo Pray's okay. And yeah. Yeah. But I lost some chats. Let's see if I still have them on the other YouTube page. No, I'm so sorry. YouTube got rid of some of the earlier chats. It starts with at 3:46 p.m. Josh Street says, "Down with Birdo Prey 5." Of course. Of course. Let's see. What else does he say? Down with Birdo Prey 5. All hail Clono Prey, the true ruler of Karoga. Maybe one day Nephew O'Prey will be the true ruler, but Nephew O'Prey is not a clone. John Street says, it's funny we watch a movie with Daniel Jackson's father-in-law in it on Saturday, and now him in a DS9 episode, the man gets around the galaxy and the multiverse. I guess so. I didn't put 2 and 2 together. Dan23 says, just reading the title of the episode. I don't remember what it's about. Well, I explained it. Life with Matthew says, and now we wait. Well, you were a little early, Life with Matthew. Mountains of Elysium says, hail Karoga, Qapla. Dave G Sound says, hail the wait. I was like a minute late. Joseph Patrick says, greetings from the future and greetings from your vacation, Joseph. I hope you're having fun in Croatia. This morning we got the news that him and his wife were off to the nude beach. But he wasn't going to send us any pictures. Mike Richards says Zort. Josh Street says Dan23. John Araki donated $1 through Super Chat. Thank you so much, John Araki. A lot of smiling faces you brought to the chat. Josh Street says Dan23. It's about them trying to have communications, with a listening post on the other side of the wormhole. That is what the episode is about. And the Bajoran, aka Daniel Jackson's father-in-law, came to warn that if they let the Cardis try it, it would burn the temple. Yep, those damn Cardis. Josh reads says, down with the evil Karogan dictator, Birdo Prey 5, until he replaces the true ruler, Clonopren throne. You said it twice. Awesome. Well, I don't say awesome, but why would you do that? Donald Myers says, Qapla, my favorite supreme ruler. Are you feeling better than you did this morning? I am. Thank you so much. And I answered that in the chat too. And Josh reads says, Karoga must burn unless Birdo Prey steps down. If I could step up or down, I probably would, but I can't step anywhere. Okay, if I could step down, I would step down and let Sassy or Mama Prey or Nephew Prey or Sisso Prey take over Karoga, and I would go back to my life. But since I can't step anywhere, I will rule Karoga. Donald Myers says it's Sassy that rules Karoga with Bird's help. That's somewhat true. Yeah, that's true. Richie Pools is Bird of Prey. Have a great live stream. As usual, I am working and cannot attend. Not that I want you to feel guilty about that or anything. I am so sorry, Richie Pool, that DS9 Wednesdays hits while you work. But maybe you could find a new job. Norman Buchwald says, hey all, you should check out the new DS9 fan sequel, which Siddig and Robinson are script reading on Siddig's channel, Sid City, called Alone Together. Well, that's cool. Siddig is, of course, Dr. Bashir, and Robinson is Garrick. So that's pretty cool that Garrick and Dr. Bashir. I didn't even know Siddig had a channel. Sid City. Okay, I'll have to look that up. I prefer, I think, the story direction they were going in the Deep Space Nine documentary, what we left behind. But there can be others. It doesn't have to be the only possible sequel. Don Meyer says, that's always wonderful to know, Bird. We care about you very much, and we want you to be the best of health, considering everything that's going on around us. Thank you so much, Donald. I want to be in the best of health, too. I just it's hard. Dr. Scotty says, Bird of Prey Qapla, happy to hear you're feeling better. Thank you so much, Dr. Scotty. Just to be clear, it's better since this morning. In the overall, stream of my life, it's pretty much the same as yesterday. Josh Street says, you're late, Bird of Prey, unsubscribing. Dr. Scotty says, Donald Myers, I second that sentiment. Glad the bird is feeling better. Thank you guys so much. Joseph Pedrick says, shall we? Greetings. We shall, Joseph. Welcome. John DeMarco says, greetings, everyone. Greetings, John. Donald Myers says hello to Dr. Scotty. John DeMarco says, do. That's all I was at, was that singing the intro. Dr. Scotty says, Aussie Prey in 1 minute. Oi, I am Aussie Prey, but I don't know why Aussie Prey needs to be in here. But give me a reason. Mr. Miles is in the house and yells, nerds. Mr. Miles, you're still a nerd. You don't get to call us nerds. Mike Richards says, greetings from Columbus, Ohio. Qapla. Bird of Prey in chat. Love that mambo. Josh Reed says, Aussie Prey is better than Bird of Prey. Oh, son of a bitch. John DeMarco says, the most important part of the episode, Cardassian flirting. Absolutely. Dave G. Sound says, hello, Bird in chat. Hello, Dave G. LDG Pixels puts in his eyes, but I think he's playing Axis and Allies. Mr. Londell says, I don't think that Cardassian chick was all that good looking. Neither do I, but, she seemed quite a bit younger than Miles. He might have, I think he was, I don't think he was all that insulted. Dan23 says, I heard on the news that someone in Florida was infected with brain-eating amoeba. Amoeba? Goddamn, I know I'm not pronouncing that right. Amoeba. Those brain things. They're actually pretty common. A lot of not flowing water sources, stationary water sources, like ponds and stuff, lakes and ponds, they grow in there pretty easily. Josh Reed says, Mr. Miles sleeps with a Cardi. Damn it. Damn well, at least he got lucky. Dan23 says, wake up. I just lay there for a while until I feel awake, and then I get up. Well, that's the problem. I never actually get up. So I just do lay here kind of all day. I could see that. I lay in bed for an hour and then get up and start the day. That's not how it works for me. Admiral Saval really misses his dog. And on cue, Sassy barks. I miss you, dog, too, Admiral Saval. I'm so sorry about it. Okay, camera's off. Mama Pray's got to go to the door.
Didn't expect you today.
Give a second. So, okay. The pharmacy was making a delivery. Mama Prey had to get outside. Admiral Saval, again, I am so sorry about your dog, Kirk. I hope it's going to take a while. It's going to take a while. It'll get a little easier day after day, week after week. But you're going to miss him. You're going to miss him for a long, long time. I still miss my first dog. And then the dogs that my sister brought when I got sick. I still miss my bird, George. I had a bird, George, growing up. I still miss George. I felt so bad. I think I killed him accidentally. And not on purpose. But, the pet shop, they sold these vitamins that you're supposed to make your bird, healthier. So I but you had to mix it in with the water that went into their, like the water bottle in the bird feeder, in the bird cage. And so you're supposed to mix in like 3 droplets with every, I don't know, let's say liter of water. And it wasn't liter. Maybe it was, half a liter, whatever. But let's just say 3 drops with every liter of water. But I didn't want to keep, because what my bedroom was quite a distance from the nearest faucet. So what I did was, instead of changing the bottle, walking it to the sink every day, was I got a 2-liter bottle, say, of Coke, cleaned it out, rinsed it out, and I would fill that bottle up, put in the right number of drops for the 2 liters, shake it up, put it into and then every day fill up the water bottle from that 2-liter bottle. So I only had to go to the sink, once every 3 or 4 days instead of, twice a day, to refill the water. And 2 days into having that great idea of, how I could be lazier and not have to give the bird fresh water, died. I didn't intend for it. I mean, it might have had nothing to do with the vitamins. It might have had nothing to do with having a bottle of water next to the cage, but I still feel like it was my fault. John Iraqi says AOC's Green New Deal prohibits stepping down due to its enormous carbon footprint. I wouldn't be surprised. Mike Richards is Bird of Prey. I was worried when you didn't stream yesterday. Glad you're okay. Mike Richards, thank you so much. I was actually on LDG's stream till quite late yesterday. So that's why I didn't end up streaming. We were playing Risk. And I don't know, talking and playing Risk. And, I know not everybody subscribed to everybody else, but if you were looking for me, that's where I was yesterday. I intended to stream, but it just got too late. And then Doomcock had a private Discord for his patrons, of which I am one, because Doomcock hit 175,000 subscribers yesterday. And so I headed over there to, talk, and Doomcock sings for us and stuff. So I was there, and then after that was over, then it was bedtime. I intended to stream earlier in the day, but I just never got to it. I am sorry. Tuesdays and Thursdays are the days that are most likely to kind of fall off. Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and Saturdays, those are almost definite streaming days. I'd have to be really sick or something has to be really wrong for me not to stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Saturday. Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday are kind of like I'll stream if I can, but they're not set in stone streams. Just so you know. I do appreciate it. I know some people were concerned. I'm sorry. I should have posted a tweet or something. Dan23 says actress Tracy Scoggins is in the episode. I don't know who she is. Mike Richards says Admiral Saval, I sympathize. I've lost several cats in my 63 years. Aw. Yeah, we had the cat loss too. I've talked about that this past Monday. Dan23 says Tracy Scoggins was also in Babylon 5, Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman, and other stuff. Elihu Hernandez, Qapla Elihu says, hi, having spotty connection. Video keeps pausing and refreshing. Gotta bounce. Take care, Elihu. Thanks for coming in. Josh says, well, Bird of Prey, we know old man Bird of Prey will walk up to AOC's spinning concert with backup dancers spinning Spocks thanks to Uber Chat #1. That's true. If Joshua has any ability to predict the future, then he did predict that. Dan23 says, some medical issues I try and make the best getting up and living. That is a good thing to do. John DeMarco says, poor George O'Prey. Yeah, he was a parakeet. He was a blue parakeet. Poor George. Josh says, Bird of Prey, you ate your beagle bites made from all this. No, I did not. I've never eaten beagle bites, and beagle bites are not made from beagles. Beagle bites don't exist, but if they did exist, they'd be made for beagles. Dan23 says, I've liked Star Trek since I was 8. I don't know what year I would say I started liking Star Trek, but it would have been way early. Mike Richards is Bird of Prey, no problem. Glad you had fun. Thank you. And Dan23 says Tracy Snoggins and puts a link. Let's see. What am I going to see here? Glora Ragel. Okay. Oh, that's her. To be honest, she doesn't seem memorable to me, but that's fine. It's good to know. No problem with knowing that. But yeah, that's good to hear. Okay, so we are at almost 5 p.m. So let's go ahead and get ready. Guys, as always now, you can go to the Bird of Prey 5 screening room, whose link is... Which way? Which way is left or right? No, this way. The Bird of Prey 5 screening room, which you can see up there, the link, birdofprey5.com/SR lowercase, and we can watch the episode together. Or, of course, if you have your own copy on DVD, bring it up, get ready. Or if you want to watch on Hulu, Netflix, Amazon Prime, CBS All Access for some god unknown reason, or any other streaming service you might have it on, bring it up. Again, it's season 3, episode 15, Destiny, and we'll start watching in just a minute or two. Josh Reed says hashtag DS9 24-hour marathon stream only has to be on Bird of Prey channel, Pop channel. Dan23 is switching to Top Chat is annoying. I know. Joseph says internet in hotels sucks. I'm sorry to hear that, Joseph. And Dan23 says it's a good episode. Well, Joseph, if your internet doesn't work to watch DS9, then hopefully you remember the episode enough. Okay, I am going to the screening room. I'm in the screening room. Now I set the stream to ultra low, whatever that's called. Ultra low latency. So hopefully there's not much of a delay anymore. Now it's only for my DS9 streams. Am I testing this? But there shouldn't be. Maybe the ultra low latency is why some people are having problems getting the connection. So you know what? If you're having a lot of buffering issues, pause the stream for 5 or 10 seconds, and then hit play. And even though you'll be 5 or 10 seconds behind, that might fix the issue for you. Because it is ultra low latency. I was testing out this setting so that those who are watching in the screening room will hear the comments I make closer to real time than that 12 or 15 second delay there usually is. Josh reaches Bird of Prey. Nerdrotic has your channel being canceled on his stream. Well, come on. What seriously? Did they say something? Is Jeff Franklin over there spreading fake news about my channel being canceled? Because I know Nerdrotic went live just a minute or two before I did. He beat me. No, it's okay. Bird of Prey Squirrel is canceled, says Uncle Remus. I'm just do I have to go look for this later, Josh Street, or is this just a joke? I mean, I know it's a joke. I know this channel's obviously not canceled. But did somebody actually bring it up on there? Yeah, Dan, it's a joke, Dan. It's a joke. Jeff Franklin went and posted a breaking news article on all the Discord channels. And it read that the Bird of Prey 5 channel had to be canceled for whatever reason. And so now this is the latest fake news going around that my channel was canceled. It's a joke. Sequel. Oh, Bird of Prey 2 is yes, okay. Right. Yeah. So Nerdrotic is talking about today that the movie Birds of Prey 2 has been canceled. Not my channel. Okay. Now it makes sense. Yes. Now, even though the title was changed to Harley Quinn, for whatever reason they're still calling it Birds of Prey 2 instead of Harley Quinn 2. But yes, the Birds of Prey 2 movie was canceled. And thank God it was, because I didn't want anybody sharing my name again. I don't ever need to hear about any Birds of Prey movie ever again. Unless it's me. Yeah, that's probably what he was talking about. Ungremus is good. Birds of Prey movie was awful. Worst movie I've watched in a long time. Okay. See, you were getting me worried. You were getting me worried about nothing. Okay. So, in the bottom right corner, you can see the black box. The screenshots will appear there if you can't watch the episode in the screening room. The address above, and I'm going to count down, and we're going to watch. If you need my attention, do @BirdlePray5, and I will try to read your comment during the episode. John DeMarco says, sadly, this ends the possibility of there being a film Birds of Prey 5. Oh, well, that is true. But I think the world is better off without him. Eastland Burkholder says, hello all, Qapla, Eastland, Qapla. Ms. Lindell says, Bird of Prey canceled. Thank God we don't have to see you in that slave bikini. Hey, I was never getting in a slave bikini. That was DJ. Okay, that's DJ. It's all of DJ's channel. I mean, even for $1,000, I didn't say I would get into it. Now, DJ at least smartened up and asked for $1,000. So if he does get in it, he at least gets a cool $1,000 to his name. But yeah, even for 1,000, I don't think I'd get in it. So don't try. But okay, let's get ready and hit play. And I'll do countdown first. 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, stop. Rewind. I have to shut off there we go. So you guys can't hear. Otherwise, instant ban. Instant copyright strike from YouTube. Okay, so try that again. Sorry. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Play. Station log. Team of Cardassian scientists are coming to deploy a subspace relay in the Gamma Quadrant. If successful, it'll be the first communication through the wormhole. Ukani, what? Oh. Odo's talking to Cisco about the Cardassians coming on board. Odo raised the temperature in the room so that Cardassians like it. It's warmer. And Odo's going to have his 2 security people follow each Cardassian. But Cisco's like, let them keep their distance. We don't want them to get too close. And Cisco says he wants the Bajorans, to see the Cardassians walking around the station and eating in the restaurants and see them as normal people, not as brutal overseers. So Dax came in and she's not convinced that it's going to work. And now Quark comes in and says, is these Ulani's or the other sister or scientist quarters? He's got a bottle of Canar for each of them and a personal invitation to Quarks. So Dax wants to note where did he get real Canar? He says he's had 3 cases in his storeroom since the occupation ended. So Sisko says there's only 2 Cardassians coming to the station. How much Kanar do you think they can drink? So Dax says, oh, peace is good for business is one of the rules of acquisition. And then she confused it with war is good for business. They're both different. They're both different rules of acquisition. Quark's happy because the peace treaty. All these new Cardassians are going to be coming to the bar. He's going to set up some Cardassian gaming concessions. And Odo says, no live bull fightings on the promenade. Quark said that he would never be part of something so cruel. But if some Cardassians happen to bring their voles along and they happen to get into a fight, how could he be held responsible? He said, okay, forget the vole fights. Sisko, Quark says, good Kanar is hard to find. Oh. And Dax opened the Kanar that wasn't even hers. It wasn't even hers to open. Yeah, the Kanar's gone bad. So Odo tells Quark he better take his bottles and leave before he has him arrested for attempting to poison the guests. And Josh treats his bird of prey. Mamo Prey said if we paid her $1 million, she would dress you in a layer slave girl bikini. Well, she didn't, but if you paid her $1 million, I would do it.
Wait.
US dollars. Okay. So the Bajoran guy who is Daniel Jackson's father-in-law says that he's here to say not to let the Cardassians come aboard the stations. If he does, it'll bring, I don't know, he'll destroy the wormhole or something. John DeMarco says Quark wouldn't think of bullfights on the promenade. Nobody would. That would be terrible. Miss Lodell says Quark is a son of a bitch. Joseph, are you still here? Should I be humming? Dr. Scotty says bird of prey, sing along. Do 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 Never stop humming the theme. Do do do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. And Josh Reed says we only pay in Karogan rounds, 10 cents. Nope, no deal. And so Vedic, is he making some type of threat? And he's saying, no, I'm only telling you what was foretold in the ancient text, a prophecy, Tricor's third prophecy, when he first encountered the orb of change. Oh, he said maybe she should study the text more. So he said, are you saying the arrival of the Cardassian scientists was foretold in a prophecy? Yes. When the river rakes, 3 vipers will return to their nest in the sky. The river has broken. The dam was just put back in operation to divert water to the city. And 3,000 years ago, this was foretold. So he's saying, so the vipers are the Cardassian scientists. And this station is their nest in the sky. Dr. Scotty says, Bird of Prey, thank you for singing along. That's one of my favorite things. Then you're welcome, Dr. Scotty. Says, when the vipers peer through the temple gates, a sword of stars will appear in the heavens. And the gates will be stuck open. Bajor will be cut off from the prophets forever. The Cardassians are going to destroy the wormhole. Don't you see? The communications relay is part of the prophecy. It will allow the vipers to peer through the temple gates, the wormhole. If they do, the temple will be destroyed. And Kira says, even if we accept the Cardassians are vipers, there's only 2. Is not 3. Is it possible there's other mistakes? He's like, there'll be 3 vipers, you'll see. Cisco's like, don't you understand what this would mean for Bajor? If it works, we'd be able to stay in contact with ships in the Gamma Quadrant. He says, none of it matters. You have to listen. You must. He knows it's difficult to accept because he's not Bajoran. He's like, they're on the verge of a great disaster. The Bajoran Assembly and the Kai are both available of all this. They've chosen to ignore it, but he's come to the emissary directly because he's got faith in the emissary. He knows he'll do what must be done. And he says, Vedic, I have the utmost respect for your beliefs, but he has no intention of calling it off. He says, I hope you will reconsider. My followers will remain on the station. Hope you change your mind. Cisco says he's free to do that. Robert Rose Jr. says, hello today, Bird of Prey, Mama Prey, and Sassy. Nah, Bird of Prey would be better suited to dress like Jabba the Hutt. Well, that is true. Cruel but true. John DeMarco says, you should record an album humming all the Star Trek themes. You know what? Maybe I will, John. That's not the worst idea. Not an album, but a YouTube video. Josh Street says, Bird of Prey, there is Daniel Jackson's father-in-law. Absolutely. Josh Street says, Bird of Prey. Captain Trax says, Bird of Prey, Qapla, Qapla. And there it is, these vipers, Galora and Delani. The Cardassian government wishes to express their gratitude for agreeing to work together on this project. It's their hope it's the first of many between their peoples. The first of many between their peoples. And Major Kira welcomes them on behalf of the Bajoran government. It's hope it ushers in a new era of peace for Bajor and Cardassia. So he's like, now we got the formalities out of the way. How was your trip? She said, exhausting. They spent most of it time rehearsing what they were going to say when they got here. They're scientists, not diplomats. And he says, please let the Central Command know that they did well. They've all gotten calls from gulls they don't even hear of, never even heard of. She wants to thank Kira personally. She's like, you're the ranking Bajoran officer. She said, I'm sure we wouldn't be here if you had been opposed to working with us. Kira says she'll work with anyone who's interested in peace. Now, they already have so much in common. Roxod's Bird of Prey crashes more Jeeps than the Clintons take care of certain associate. So they're gonna put the receiver 2 kilometers from the mouth of the wormhole in the Gamma Quadrant, and then this Cardassian makes the mistake of calling the station Terok Nor, and she catches herself and says Deep Space Nine. So Dax wants to know what type of signal are they going to use to cut through the interference inside the wormhole. Miles says they tried it a few times. They tried it a few years ago. It never worked. And this lady says, O'Brien says that he did it himself. The variance was less than 0.01%. And she's like, yeah, and as you see, it was too much. Ours is less than half of that. So Chief O'Brien wants to see it, look at it himself. Kronos is bird of prey, Qapla world. Qapla, Kronos, Qapla. Been a long day. They want to get some rest. Oh. Why wouldn't they have somebody show them to their quarters? How do they know how to get around? And Cisco says those are about the two friendliest vipers he's ever met. Dax and Miles have no idea what they're talking about. And so one of the women came in and said, oh, I forgot to tell you, one more of our colleagues are coming and they'll be arriving later today. And now Cisco doesn't realize that there's going to be 3 of them. And now Kira is like, there's going to be 3 of them. 3 Vipers. Just like in the prophecy. Come on, Cisco. You had to know that the 3 was going to freak somebody out. Kronos is his nephew of prey now in the mines. No. Only orphans go to mines. Kronos says, you look comfy. I am. This is a very comfortable shirt. Jitsi made it. Not personally. He did the artwork. So they think that this Vedic is using the prophecy as a way to scuttle the peace treaty. Cisco said if he thought for any moment there was any way that this could create damage to the wormhole, he'd put a stop to it. Oh. Odo says his agenda, it wasn't that, but his agenda to distance himself from the title of emissary. He just looks like he's never been comfortable with it. Cisco can't deny it. Roxanne says, bird of prey, you know I am sure Uncle Paulie would probably be more than happy to take care of Sister of Prey for you, and then you can send Clone of Prey to the mines. So,
Even suggested that.
Mama Prey wants to know who said that. That was rock solid.
Oh.
And see, that's the type of thing that Mama Prey does not like hearing. Yes, it's DS9 day. Yeah, I think I hear her writing you on the name on a list.
Well, I don't have to write his name. I just texted him. Paulie, who knows Uncle Paulie?
Kronos says, I heard Mama Prey. I demand a tail. There's no more tails. No more tails, Kronos. Mama Prey retired, she said. Today's not Thursday, rock solid. Rock solid says, sorry, Mama Prey. I was just trying to help out the Karogan dictator.
I understand.
Captain Trax says, bird of prey is pissing off Mama Prey, worthy of de-wrenching. Would it be worthy of de-wrenching rock solid because he pissed you off?
No, you see, That's your.
No. I'm not gonna de-wrench people yet. But you got a warning. So Dax met some Cardassian writer. He met him while he was on exile on Vulcan. Oh. Their colleague, Dejar. She got there early. She was able to arrange special transportation. So this lady's clearly not happy. He took the liberty of creating some Cardassian delicacies. The two original girls are not happy. They clearly didn't want to eat Cardassian food. She doesn't really care for Cardassian cuisine. They try to avoid it. Those in the science ministry are provided with a wide array of off-world food, and then the other one says, yeah, we're really quite spoiled. Some of us even think we're better than other Cardassians. Dan23 says, Bird of Prey, Cardassians like to exile people. So this lady is getting pissed. Like, what happened to all this stuff? And Miles had to make some modifications. He's like, well, that's not going to carry as much current or as much load. He's like, Starfleet code requires a second backup. And he's like, in case the first one fails. It's like, what are the chances that first the primary system and its backup are going to fail at the same time? He's like, I don't want to be caught without a second backup. She's angry. Like, what's done is done. She'll try to figure out what to do next. She's like, just shut up. Just give me a moment to think. And he says, fine, I'll just sit here quietly. And she says, in that case, could you get me a cup of red leaf tea? He says, why not? Miles got cucked. Kronos says, this is a good episode. Absolutely. Kronos says, what the F is red leaf tea? I assume it's some type of alien tea, but not Cardassian. Maybe it's like Canadian tea, like a red maple leaf made into tea. Tea made with red leaves, I presume. Yep. Kronos says some peeps smoke it. So they made it to the Gamma Quadrant. There's no Dominion activity, no ships. Uh-oh. She's got a large mass of ice entering sensor range. It's a rogue comet. Put it on screen. I thought it was going to be the comet from the opening credits, but no. But if it's a rogue comet, there really shouldn't be a tail. The tail only comes when it's near a star. And now Kira looks at the comet and she said, the sword of stars. That's it. The prophecy, it's all coming true. So she said, that's a very colorful way of describing a comet. And Kira looks at Cisco, says it's just a figure of speech. Cisco, that the sword of stars is going to place very near the wormhole, but not close enough to cause a problem. So he wants it deployed within the hour. He goes over to talk to Kira to reassure her. Oh, he wants to have a word with her. Like, stop showing emotion on the bridge. Chrono, she retired. There's not going to be any more tales. Cisco says this prophecy has no place on the bridge of the Defiant, especially in front of the Cardassians. So Kira said, you're right, it won't happen again. Where did they go that there's bunks? Are there really bunks off the bridge of the Defiant? They didn't go all the way down to crew quarters to talk. So she's like, what do you want me to do? Call this whole thing off? And Kira's like, yeah, look at what's happened. They've been predicted. 3 Vipers, now the Sword of Stars. And you, the emissary. Kronos is who retired? Mamo Prey has retired from doing Mamo Prey stories. I'm sure the why is going to be a follow-up question. Roxots is bird of prey, please, Captain, not in front of the Klingons. Yes. So is your why going to be your Mamo Prey tale? She said, not tonight. Cronus says, why did Mamo Prey retire? She's not going to get into it, she said tonight. John DeMarcos of Defiant only has a few decks, so them going to the bridge to crew quarters wouldn't be that far. There's got to be a room, an office or something somewhere. You can't have every important meeting take place in your bedroom. I mean, Cisco, even as a captain, he's got to have a little better quarters than the rest of the crew. She's like, 3,000 years later, we're seeing this prophecy unfold. It's concrete, solid, even call it Starfleet. He says, but all hinges on how you interpret a ancient text that's been translated and translated over the centuries. He said, well, you see a sort of stars, I see a comet. Where you see vipers, I see scientists. And when you see the emissary, I see a Starfleet officer. Dan 23 says, bird of prey, red leaf tea, a Cardassian hot beverage, red color, rather sweet, spicy taste. It was Garrick's favorite breakfast beverage, and Julian Bashir enjoyed it with his scones and Moba jam. Well, that's weird because they just got through how they don't like Cardassian food, but then the first thing she asks for is a Cardassian tea. So I'd say that doesn't make much sense. Miss Londell says there's like a little galley on the Defiant. Remember when they do the phaser? Yes, the phaser ceremony. So she wants to do something through the coils. It's like they're not able to do ODN output. She's like, what did you do? Modify them too. He said, I replaced them. She's like, why didn't you tell me you replaced them? And he's like, well, if you told me what you wanted to do, I would have told you. She's like, it's been my experience that humans aren't good engineers, Miles says. That males aren't good engineers. Men don't have a head for this sort of thing. That's why men don't go into sciences. So Brian said, I don't know about Cardassia, but on this station, this man is chief of operations. And I know more about this station than anyone, including you. So if you want to get that transceiver running, hand me the laser torch and give me some room. Well, you see, it's quite clear why she could be so attracted to him now. Rock Solid says, First, Carlos says tea is a drink, not food. And Roxanne says if it doesn't make sense, if Chewbacca does not make sense, you must acquit. Yes, the Chewbacca defense that Anti-Trekker completely forgot about this morning. Kronos says, I have a coil from Kurdistan. It's not worth. Just throw it away. Joseph Patrick says, Defiant is as big as a Connie saucer. Fairly big. They're initiating carrier wave on Theta Band. Something's wrong. There's a neutrino surge from the wormhole. Oh shit, they opened the wormhole. The carrier wave caused the wormhole to open. Gravity well of the wormhole. Why is there a gravity well of a wormhole? It's increased by a factor of 3. Terminate the carrier wave. Everything's returned to normal. They don't know what happened. The carrier wave shouldn't have affected the wormhole. The relay is still working. But the gravitational surge has changed the direction of the comet. The comet is now headed directly to the wormhole. And the scientist says if the selenium from the comet hits the wormhole, it could collapse the wormhole permanently. Shit. Maybe you better go blow up that comet. Why would you come back to the station? You can blow up a planet with the Defiant. You can easily blow up a comet. Just blow up the goddamn comet. You have hours. So they said the probability of this happening was less than 2%. They saw no reason to include it in the data they sent. Well, seems like I see that our methodology is different. We always put out all of the possibilities before, doing such things. And she's like, we'd love to work like that, but we're under the military. And one of the rules is not to make any project look too dangerous. So the other lady is saying the science team would no doubt want to do a new team before proceeding. So don't use tractor beams, use photon torpedoes. No, use photons. There you go. Yes. It'll take 3 hours for him to modify the phasers so it just vaporizes it all at once. I don't believe him. Josh says, when can a Defiant blow up a planet? If a Constitution class from Kirk's time could destroy the entire surface of a planet, the Defiant can clearly destroy an entire surface of a planet. And now the Cardassian chick is getting a little close to O'Brien. A little strangely close to him. Josh reads his bird of prey, you better get in your ship and crash into it. It should work. Rox odds his bird of prey, belay that phaser order. Oh, she says you have very steady hands. He says they get the job done. And right now, the most important job is bypassing the plasma emitter. She assures him that she's quite fertile. She could provide him with many healthy children, but she thinks she's getting a little ahead of himself. He's like, children, what are you talking about? I already have a child and a wife. She's like, you're married? He's like, yes, happily. Then why have you been leading me to believe that you wanted me? He's like, I haven't. All we've done since we met is argue. It's like I took your overt irritability towards me as a signal you wanted to pursue some sort of physical relationship. He says, of course, that's how Cardassians do things. Oh my, she says. She's afraid it's a case of cross-cultural misunderstanding. He says, I'm not remotely interested in you. He didn't mean it that way. He's like, you're very attractive, and he's flattered. He's flattered, of course. She's like, there's no need to continue, Miss O'Brien. You made your feelings clear. We have to finish this. She says, I'm sure you can complete the job on your own, as she crawls away. Ah. Eastland says she's flirting with a married man. She didn't know he was married. Zachary Gibbons says, hello, Bird of Prey. Qapla, Zachary Gibbons. Kronos says, my fingers shake, Bird of Prey. I'm sure it's a plus to women. Zachary says, I'm watching on your website, Bird. Well, you have to be somewhere you can also type into the chat. So Dax, like, you're reading enough you're reading up on prophecies concerning the emissary. And he's like, there's tons of them. Some are contradictory, some are vague, but some seem to have come true. Well, Dax says, but there's every reason to believe that we can destroy the comet. But he's like, I know, but I'm starting to think that if I don't send the Cardassians home, something else will go wrong. Rock Solid says, good on O'Brien for honoring his wedding vows and not cheating on Keiko. I agree. But, you know, she was a Cardassian. Would he have said the same thing if she was an attractive woman? Probably. I mean, O'Brien definitely seemed... I think by all of our facts we know, O'Brien is the most dedicated to his wife of anyone we know. In the episode where he's undercover for the trying to capture the Orion Syndicate, you know, whatever the guy who was going to bring him in gave him a woman for the night. And he's like, no, thanks. He's like, another time. He lets her go. And then when they crash on the planet, like 200 years in the past, and they've got to repopulate, O'Brien was the very last one to settle down with another woman and start a family. He was the last holdout. The weapons relay blew. All defensive systems are down. The modified phasers never came online. They shot a standard burst. He's like, there's no way he should have misfired. He modified them himself. And the fragments are still on course for the wormhole. They're going to hit in 26 minutes. Without weapons, they have no way of stopping them. Tractor beams? I mean, they're small. They're tractor beams. Or just put the shields up in front of one of them. It'll bounce off. So now O'Brien is saying he must have made a mistake when he was doing it. And the girl that liked him says it's not his fault. It wasn't an accident. So he said, Dajar is a member of the Obsidian Order. She sabotaged the ship. And he said, the Order's always been opposed to a peace treaty with Bajor. They sent you here to sabotage the relay. Because if the first joint venture was a failure, it'd probably be the last. She's like, this is a speculation. You have no proof. And Kira says, if it was sabotage, a DNA scan will reveal who is responsible. And so now he says, can we use a tractor beam? She's like, that just disintegrate them further, releasing more silithium. He's like, well, can we prevent the silithium from interacting with the wormhole? So if you could do a subspace field around the silithium, he could create a subspace bubble around the ship with the warp field. So the shuttle pod could go between the pieces, and its warp drive can create the bubble. O'Brien says it could override it could, overload the engines, but Kira wants to go with him because she's here to help the emissary. So he tells Dax to take the wormhole back, the Defiant back through the wormhole, when Dax should be in the shuttlecraft with him. So Cisco and Kira are going to go in behind the comet fragments. Kronos is bird of prey. You think about the Schmidt. I don't know what that is. Kronos is pew pew. Kronos is bird of prey. Are Cardassian women nasty in bed? I wouldn't know, Kronos. Maybe they don't need beds. That's Kronos. Eastland says trust is overrated in Cardassian relationships. John DeMargo says captain and first officer both on a dangerous mission. It's like an episode of TOS. Absolutely. Although Kira and Cisco were often on the same dangerous missions. Not like a starship where they would leave one behind. Some of the silithium is leaking through. Well, he shut down the engines, letting the inertia carry them the rest of the way, the opening the wormhole, and the 3 pieces of the comet. They made it through. Are you okay? Said there was some selenium leakage in the wormhole, but they're okay. And she was like, I don't believe it. They're picking up the test signal from the communications relay. They're the subspace, the comet fragments. They left silithium trail in the wormhole. So the wormhole was wedged open just a crack, just to allow subspace signals through. Kira's like the prophecy came through. All of it. We just misinterpreted it. The 3 Vipers, they weren't the Cardassians. It was the pieces of the comet. Duh. Anybody could have made that mistake. And the communications relay. And they've been trying to peer through the temple gates. They ignited the wormhole, burning the temple gates, so they never close again. And it's all because the emissary used the Sword of Stars. And he saw it all 3,000 years ago. Josh reads his bird of prey. You should know German shemale number 9 is a Cardi. No, I disagree. Zachary Gibbons says, of course, the comet bird of prey. Yeah, of course. Kronos says, I swore is all is well. She thinks Bajor is in more trouble than she is. Oh no, whatever, the other woman is in more trouble than she is. The order doesn't reward failure well. She's like, we didn't want you to take the blame for something you didn't do. I didn't want you to know how proud you are. He's like, what's your wife's name? He says, Keiko. Says, a lucky woman. He gives him a peck on the cheek. There you go, Miles. So now Daniel Jackson's grandfather is back and apologizing to the emissary. He lets his hate of the Cardassians blind him to the prophet's words. But Dracor's fourth prophecy might come to pass as well. Well, it is a prophecy about the emissary. Dracor's fourth prophecy says the emissary will face a fiery trial and will be forced to choose. And you know what? That does happen in a few seasons. That does happen. I forgot all about that. But yes, he does face a fiery trial in the future. So that was it. That was our episode. Destiny. I liked it. Good episode. I still think it's a good episode. I thought it was a good episode then. It's still a good episode now. Rock solid wants Dear Bop. There's not going to be any Dear Bops. Not today. Yes, it does, John DeMarco. So this guy, he wrote prophecy. Maybe he was a prophet. Maybe he was a prophet who took corporeal form 3,000 years ago. Just so he could write what would happen. Mike Richards says, then Miles has a flashback and punches her. Yes, a PTSD moment. Damn Cardis! I'll kill you all! So, I mean, these weren't the nicest Cardassians, but they were different. They weren't the Cardassians we were used to seeing. So, yeah. The fire bit absolutely comes through, Kronos. Absolutely. Josh reads, as the 24-hour DS9 marathon has started. What are the next episodes? No, this is not a 24-hour Deep Space Nine episode marathon. In fact, we're going to be ending it fairly soon. I know this is a short stream. We're not even at an hour and a half yet, but I'd like to eat dinner. And if somebody else streams later, I'll probably come on your stream. I'll probably come on your stream a little later. Zachary says, if you had to rate this episode out of 10, what would you grade it? I'd say it's a solid... I'd say it's a solid 6.5, maybe a 7. It's so hard because so many DS9 episodes are 8, 9s, and 10s. I don't think this is an 8, you know? Maybe it's a 7. Maybe it's slightly, but it's still good. It's still a good episode. I like the uniqueness about it. I like that it furthers Sisko as the emissary. It has Bajoran and Cardassian. It has the kind of B plot with Miles and the woman. That we find out that in Cardassia, women tend to be the engineers, which makes sense because we really don't see a lot of Cardassian engineers. We see Cardassian men as soldiers and Cardassian men as spies, but we don't really see any Cardassian engineers, do we? So, you know, maybe it is a place where women dominate the sciences. I don't know that they've ever followed up on that, but it's an interesting thought. It's an interesting thought. Eastland says they cannot all be military. No, but the men could be. Kronos says that's racist. Wow, just wow. Eastland says they cannot all be military. Kronos says, please, no short Geloja. No, I'm not Gelojering. Zachary says, sounds fair. Kronos says a solid turd would be awesome. No. Norman Buchwald puts it as 7.5 out of 10. Yeah, I mean, listen, I could be persuaded anywhere between, I'd put 6.5, but you know what? Plus or minus 1 is within the realm of possibility. Eastland says, fun and funny, no metal bikini or body paint. 6.7. Okay. Josh reads Kronos, you realize that Bird of Prey is racist against everyone that isn't Kurogan. Yes, hashtag only Kurogan lives matter. That's the official hashtag of Kuroga. Roxaz is Bird of Prey. I don't hate you, Cardassian. I hate what I became because of you. Miles Edward O'Brien. Yes, from famous Miles O'Brien quote from TNG. 47 New York Times is Bird of Prey. Hello, young sir. I enjoyed this episode back in the day. Yeah, I did too. And I'm glad I enjoyed it now. Kronos is Bird of Prey. I would very much like a Mamo Prey tale. Kronos. She just can't do it, Kronos. It has nothing to do with you, Kronos. Not your fault. Maybe another day, but certainly not today. And probably not next week either. John Streets is Bird of Prey, loves Beagle Bites. Kronos is low, made you laugh. And John and Marco says Mamo Prey has spoken. Yeah. Zachary says we need a Dear Bop. And no, we're not going to get either of those today. Friday will be Dear Bop. What we will end with, though, is we'll end with the Kuroga the Brave. And then we'll end the stream. So thank you guys for coming today. I will try to stream tomorrow. I'm not sure what exactly, but we'll try to do something tomorrow. Friday will be Bed Life. Saturday is The Princess Bride. And then we got Sunday. Something. Have a good evening, guys. If anybody else is streaming later, playing Risk or something, I'll find you. I'll find you. Qapla. Roxodds is Bird of Prey. So how is Clone of Prey swinging his hammer thus far? I'm not sure he's actually swung the hammer yet. It's a mallet. Yes, it's a mallet. Good night and take care. Oh, I gotta put this back on.
Oh, give me a home where the orphans can't roam, 'cause they're down a uranium mine, where seldom is heard a complaint against the bird, 'cause his subjects are all treated fine. Kuroga the Brave, where the orphans and sassy both play, where often is heard
Son of a bitch
from bird, and the bridges don't falter or sway. When the airwaves are clear, there's a voice you can hear through the noise of those turtles allied. For despite what you've heard, Gowron isn't a turd, is what the man cries. Kuroga the Brave, where the orphans and sassy both play, where often is heard
Son of a bitch
from bird, and the bridges don't falter or sway.
You're not capitalized.
Anti-tracker might think Martok kicked up a stink in his plan to bring Bird of Prey down. But he soon changed his tune for a purse of doubloons. Now he kneels for the Kurogan crown. Kuroga the Brave, where the orphans and sassy both play, where often is heard,
son of a bitch,
from bird, and the bridges don't falter or sway.